Y'all, God just brought a word back to my remembrance that he gave to me last year, December 20th of last year. I remember because I have it in my notes. I'm going to show you. Oh my gosh, he's so good. So I was watching Summer's videos earlier. Y'all know I've talked about Summer a lot in my videos because a lot of what she talks about is the same things that God's been telling me, or it just serves as like further confirmation, right? So in one of her videos, I know that she mentioned something about butterflies, okay? And butterflies signify like transformation and so on and so forth. So then she also made this post I'm going to show you. So she had said, in addition to me seeing 2 orange butterflies on my walk yesterday and then having a vision of the orange snake, and she posted a video about that. That's when I was watching. She said this is just further confirmation that there has been transformation taking place in both you and your spouse, right? Because then she saw 2 orange butterflies on the back of a car, right? And this part is huge, y'all. She said, don't let the enemy deceive you because you can't see certain things happening, right? Cut the head off the snake / enemy and believe what God has been showing you and telling you. God calls it smoke and mirrors effect for a reason, okay? Transformation is here and is happening. And just like I told you guys the other day in the word that the Lord gave me about the dam has broken, right? I told you guys, I mentioned that video as well. I said, if you notice that your spouse is starting to move a little bit differently, they've become kind of distant, their communication is kind of slacking off, is because they are going through a transformation process. They are going through the refiner's fire, right? They are going through the pruning and stuff that God, and the stripping that God has been doing in them. The same process that God has done in you, okay? And y'all, please take this word back to God. You should know at what point in this journey that you are in, okay? So take the word back to God. But the same thing that you had to go through, and or some of you might currently be going through it or what have you, your spouse is going to have to go through the same exact freaking thing, okay? She had mentioned this morning in a couple of her videos, she had like part 1 and part 2 about how they are in kind of like a lowly place, right? Because just like I was telling you guys in the word God gave me about how the dam has been broken, it's a lot going on with them internally, you know, in these thoughts that they're having. God is allowing it, so on and so forth. So they are going through a lot internally. That's why you have to walk by faith and not by sight. That's why, just like Summer said in her post, do not be deceived by what it looks like, by what you cannot see, because a lot of times they put on this mask, which brings, so let me go ahead and get to the word, baby, okay? So like I said, December 20th of 2024 is when God gave me this word through what I had seen. So I was sitting in this same hotel room, oddly enough, and there was a U-Haul truck outside my window, but on the U-Haul truck, y'all, there was like 3 big like butterflies on the side, but they were broken down in like stages. Oh, let me show you. Okay, y'all see, so like one wing is like really dead looking, okay? The second wing, there's more color to it, but as you can see, there's still like some holes in it, right? And then the third wing is more vibrant, more colorful. And so like I said, the first one seems kind of dead, right? It's brown and has holes in it. The second one has some color to it, less holes, right? But there's still holes there nonetheless. But the third one has more vibrant color and the holes are either gone or they're very, very small, okay? So stages of transformation: 1, dead, defeated, not looking like it's going to survive, okay? Now, if your spouse is still in the world, right? This is pretty much like the very beginning stages. They are still in the world. They are still wanting to do their will for their life. They are not, God hasn't really put his hand down on them yet. They are still covered by his grace and mercy in this. So stage 2, right? They're starting the process of seeking God as he begins to patch up their wounds and the fleshly ways about them. So the stripping, the pruning, the dam has broken, you know, so on and so forth. The dying to that part of their life, they're having more color comes because they are seeking God and stepping into the new, right? And then of course, stage 3, this stage is where they are the most beautiful, okay? They have done the work being refined and pruned and have become a new creation in Christ Jesus. And on top of that, y'all, down here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, but there was a number on the side of that U-Haul and it was 121, and I pulled that in the Strongs and it means Adam. So the majority of our spouses, and again, y'all, take this word back to God, okay? He will let you know. He will provide confirmation, clarity, revelation for you regarding what stage your spouse is in, okay? But the majority of our spouses are in that stage too. And like I said in the beginning of the video, y'all, just like the word God gave me the other day about how the dam has been broken, which, side note, okay, let me tell y'all this, because this is, oh my gosh. So that same day, or maybe the next day, my son, he's in 4th grade, right? He said randomly, nobody asked, okay? He goes, Mommy, guess what we're learning in school? And I said, what? And he goes, about beaver dam. Jesus. If that wasn't further confirmation, baby, I don't know what was. But anyway, y'all, just like I was saying in that word that God had given me, like they are going through a lot emotionally, internally, you know, because God has been putting his hand down. He's been putting his hand down and he is pruning them. He is stripping them, and it's going to all lead to them coming to the Lord. And just like Summer said, y'all, and just like I mentioned in that beaver dam video as well, do not allow what it looks like to deceive you, because smoke and mirrors, right? Smoke and mirrors. That's what Satan does. He wants to deceive you, right? Like, oh, like I said in that video, the beaver dam video, I said, if you notice that they start pulling away, if you notice that they start getting silent on you, Satan's going to come in your head and start telling you stuff. I know, because Satan has been doing it to me, right? To the point where I've been reaching out to God, like, Lord, like, what the freak is going on? Like, I rebuke these thoughts, but like, I don't know, you know? He's so good, bro, because I was just talking to y'all. Oh my gosh. Okay. He led me to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, right? I had told the Lord, I was like, Lord, I just need some type of encouragement. I just need some type of something, because y'all know my story, marriage aside, y'all know my story on my faith journey that God called me to talk to you guys about, right? Like me being out here in hotels, still not having my home yet, so on and so forth. Jesus, you know? And so I was like, Lord, like, I'm just, you know, and I told you I'm hormonal too. Amen. So that's just the icing on the cake, baby. But I told the Lord, I was like, Lord, I need some encouragement. I need something, Lord. So he had led me to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and I just started laughing. I started laughing, y'all, because I was like, Jesus, He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the hearts of men, yet they cannot fathom what God has done from beginning to end, right? So every season, even though it doesn't appear beautiful to you, it is beautiful in its time. God is always doing something. There is not no pain without purpose, baby. There is a purpose for everything that God is doing and or what he allows. Timing is important. Okay, now this is referring to verses 1 through 8, where it says, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to uproot, all those verses, right? Timing is important. All the experiences listed in these verses are appropriate at certain times. Okay, the secret to peace with God is to discover, accept, and appreciate God's perfect timing. The danger is to doubt or resent God's timing. This can lead to despair, rebellion, or moving ahead of God. And I told y'all before, when God gave me a word about moving ahead, you were going to birth an Ishmael, right? God's promise to Abraham and Sarah was Isaac, right? But Abraham and Sarah got impatient. They decided to move ahead of God, and they had Ishmael, right? Ishmael was not from Abraham and Sarah. Ishmael was from Abraham and Hagar, whatever. But that wasn't the promise that God had for them. And as we know, y'all, okay, going off of genealogies and generations, okay, the generation of Ishmael, there was always issues between his generation and the Israelites, which came from Isaac. I'm not gonna get into all that. That's not the purpose of the word, y'all. Transformation, stage 2 for the majority of us. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Okay, please always, anyway, take the word back to God. But let me explain something to you, baby. If you just found out that your husband is your husband, or your wife is your wife from God, or promise of marriage restoration, or what have you, if you just found this out, baby, your husband or wife is still in stage 1. Okay, it's a process, y'all. Everything is a process. Even when you are in your restoration, it is still a process to that. Like I said, y'all, go back to God, talk to him about it, ask him to reveal to you anything that he wants to reveal to you, confirm anything to you, or what have you, in regards to your spouse, their transformation, in regards to anything, really.